Peace. Happy Mercury Day. For those of you that are questioning why I'm wishing you happy Mercury Day, it is because Mercury is the planet that rules over Wednesday. It is also a planet that is responsible for communication. Mercury also rules over the zodiac signs of Gemini and Virgo, both of which are very communicative. Gemini mentally or verbally. Gemini is a air sign. Air signs are of the mind. Geminis are verbal, very vocal communicators. Virgo is the analyst. Their tag phrase or their phrase of recognition is I analyze, right? So they are the internal communicators. They rule the 6th house and they have a lot to do with health, right? So back to it being a Mercury Day. I was prompted but hesitant to share. And I say hesitant because that was just me being in my own way, right? Which is that's so good. In my way about 2 words, confidence and esteem, relating to self-esteem. I saw this post, a couple of posts, but one that I responded to, and the post had to do with no more people pleasing, right? I commented that people pleasing is the ultimate act of self-betrayal. And it is the ultimate act of self-betrayal because you are not acting in confidence when you people please. You are or you already feel diminished in your self-esteem when you people please. People pleasing is you going out of your way to make people happy, even when you don't feel like doing the thing that's going to please said people. You do this because you desire, you crave attention and validation externally, which has its roots in a lack of confidence within yourself and a lack of healthy self-esteem, which are rooted in the key word lack, which means you don't feel like you're enough. So let's scale back and reverse engineer this thing, right? Self-confidence is belief in one's abilities to meet a challenge and succeed. Confidence is a feeling in your abilities, a feeling in being capable of accomplishing things with your abilities in any circumstance. Self-esteem is your worth of self, how you feel about yourself, how confident you feel about yourself and abilities, how self assured you feel in showing up for yourself and being assured that you can do a thing. You don't need the external validation. You don't need the you got it, that a girl, that a boy, whatever. Although we all desire, some form of validation from our foundation. Our foundation being our caregivers, right? From when we came into this world, we desired to be validated, heard, seen, felt, experienced, loved on, supported by our caregivers. When you lack that, or when that foundation is faulty and you don't know, or you learn later through experiences that you need to heal the cracks in this foundation, it shows up in your life in major ways. And one of those major ways is people pleasing. It's the ultimate act of self-betrayal because you are a person too. And the first person that you should be aiming to please is yourself. And I say this in light of healthy, holistic pleasing, not in a carnal or very selfish, hurtful manner. So the things that you do for yourself, you naturally do for others. Or it comes natural to you to do these things for other people. When you don't take care of yourself, when you don't make sure you're okay, when you're not giving yourself the green light, the yes, utilizing your autonomy, which is the ability to make choices for yourself, and you are seeking outside of yourself external validation, external love, external approval, 9 times out of 10 you end up people pleasing. Like, you just do things that you really would rather say no to, and instead of saying no, you say yes. Let's draw off a very common and very simple example, that of money. You desire to be needed. So someone will ask you to borrow money. You know very well you do not wish to participate in lending or giving any money away to somebody that you know, one, is not going to pay it back, and two, something in your spirit just move you to really be like, no. but you override that no with a yes. And out of fear and out of lack because one, you lack the confidence to say no. You lack the esteem in yourself and your own worth to say no when you know better. But because there is this void within you that is hungry for the need to be filled, of being needed, you say yes. And I don't need to continue on with a story or a narrative to let you know that this does not fare well for you when you say yes. Some of the things that can happen when you say yes, when you really mean to say no, is that you don't feel appreciated. You don't feel valued. You are not respected. You open the door for these people or this person to come back and try to use you again. And until you decide that you're not going to people please anymore, you're setting yourself up for a vicious cycle of abuse and neglect and resentment of yourself. Like, those are three things that are, can, and will come from you people pleasing. What are you going to do about it? First of all, let's address the fact that we have to be accountable for our actions. It doesn't feel good, but it didn't feel good to your soul. It didn't feel good within your spirit when you neglected yourself from the first place. When you did this, when you first did this, probably was when you were very young and very impressionable. And you were unaware that this behavior would morph into something that was like not healthy. It wasn't good for you. So when you didn't take care of that need to be needed by yourself, when you didn't address that feeling of feeling unworthy because you may have been abandoned emotionally, or you may have been neglected emotionally, physically. When you didn't address that and you sought ways outside of yourself, it just created a bigger vacuum to attract more experiences with different people and situations where you demonstrated this behavior of people pleasing. And now it's to a point where you're like, you're done. It's sapped you. It's siphoning your energy. It is working against you. And you just can't figure out why. Because you keep giving your power away. You keep giving pieces of yourself away to make other people happy. And in the bigger picture, you are telling yourself that you're not worthy. You are letting yourself experience the very things that have been done to you by others outside of you. And now your own hand is involved in the pain that is being caused. What can you do about it? What are you prepared to do about it? Do you want to change this behavior? Let's look at how it's served you thus far. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Or what is it that you fear happening if you stop people pleasing? What are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of? What can these people do to you if you say no? Not today. I'm sorry, I can't assist you. Oh, I won't be able to do it. I don't have that available. What is so bad about you saying no to what's outside of you and saying yes to what's good for your insides? There's so many ways to approach this topic and look at where it originally stems from. But I just wanted to touch on it briefly today because I am someone who used to people please. And I recognize it when I see it. There's sometimes, even now, I have to catch myself and say, do you really feel like doing XYZ? You know, because your people pleasing could get so out of hand that you will continue to do things to avoid facing yourself. You will take on responsibilities. You will take on the problems of others. You will allow yourself to be put in positions that others put you in, and you passively go along with whatever, said thing it is that needs to be done, and you really don't want to. There's a book, I'm going to mention it because I didn't read it yet, but what it spoke on is about the body keeping score, right? The body keeps score. And when I heard that title in the midst of the topic that was being discussed and relaying it to what I'm speaking about right now, people pleasing, your body does keep score. It's like beating yourself up, taking a punch to the gut or the throat or the eye. I'm using these parts in particular because I say the eye, you do it when you continuously put on rose-colored glasses because you see that things are not right. But you keep ignoring the red flags. Your throat, when you don't exercise using your voice and you allow yourself to become silenced, your throat chakra gets blocked. And then you end up not speaking up for yourself. Getting punched in the gut. Nobody wants to get punched in the stomach. At all. But imagine ignoring your intuition, right? And the action that you didn't take, or the action that you did take and you knew you weren't supposed to, it immediately backfires. You feel it in your body. You feel it. You usually feel stuff in your stomach. And the first phrase you say out of your mouth is, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Something told me don't do that. Something told me don't go this way. Something told me don't say this. Something told me don't answer the phone. Something told you. And the something came from within you. But because you wanted to please externally, now you have to deal with this punch to the gut, to the throat, to the eye. Because you wanted to people please. So the body keeping score, your body remembers when you violate yourself. The body remembers when you did something that you really didn't want to do. As I'm telling you this, I'm remembering a moment where I knew I should not have been physically intimate with someone, and I did anyway. It was not pleasurable at all. In fact, the experience was quite painful. And I had to live with that. I had to deal with that. But because I wanted to be pleasing to this person, and I did not listen to my own body, the experience was not pleasurable. And in looking back on that, remembering what it felt like not to be, what's the word? Not to be dwelling on it, but revisiting it so that I am reminded of what that feels like. What it feels like when I don't honor myself. What it feels like when I'm in a position or I'm around somebody that doesn't even deserve my presence. They don't deserve my time, my attention. And I needed to take note of how I was abandoning myself in those moments. And I did. And revisiting that thought and offering some healing to that part of myself that sought pleasure outside of me. I had to offer her love. I had to offer her compassion. I had to give her exactly what she actually needed, wanted, but did not ask for, and instead opted out, to try to seek it elsewhere. So, this is just a note today about your esteem, your confidence, and people pleasing. When you are reminded that you come first, it's not in a way that berates or belittles people. It's to let you know that you matter, to put yourself first. It is honorable to honor you. And your self-esteem, that's your confidence, your worth. And your confidence is a feeling, right? It can be fleeting, as I heard someone else put it. But the more that you tap into that, the more you remind yourself that, you know what, I feel good saying no. It felt okay to say no. Or I trusted myself enough to say yes. And you feel a sense of confidence in being able to make your own decision and making the right decision. And you know it's the right decision because you feel good about it. That is a way to gauge or utilize your inner GPS. How things make you feel. Because if it is of spirit, God, the Most High, that wants nothing but the best for you, it's going to feel good. Period. When you go against the grain, you think long, think wrong. You do it because of anything other than bringing peace, joy, or affirming the positive within you, and it doesn't feel right, need I say more? So I'll be back again to tap in on something else. But I just wanted to remind you today, you matter, you are worthy, you are abundant, you are loved, and you are love. Allow your confidence to shine through in pleasing yourself first, and let other people deal with their stuff. Learn to stand back, drink your water, and mind your business. I love you. Peace.